What's the music?
Okay. Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hi.
Uh,
Let's see.
let's see here.
All right. Well, hello, YouTube family. We're trying to
Mm-hmm.
connect in our Facebook family. Are we live now?
Yeah, I believe
No
we are.
issues.
Nah, we good. We
We're
good.
good. What's
Hey,
going
what's up, y'all?
on?
Welcome to another Thursday night live stream. My name is Ayize Ma'at, and this right here is my lovely and incredible wife, Iana Ma'at.
Happy New
Oh
Year.
yeah. We can't leave that one out, y'all. We gotta say Happy New Year.
Happy New
It's big, y'all.
Year.
Who gonna be blowing big in 2018? You know, who gonna turn
Yes.
up in 2018? Who gonna represent for their relationship in 2018? Who gonna improve the quality of themselves in 2018? It's 2018, y'all. It's time for y'all to turn up for you,
Hey.
turn up for your love, turn up for your children, turn up for everybody. Just turn up. Turn up in 2018. Yes, indeed.
And what does turn up mean? Turn up means all kinds of things. It means sometimes we need to tweak our relationships. We need to pay attention to our issues. We need to have some courageous conversations. We need to do some things differently. And I just want to encourage everybody who's listening tonight to make these resolutions. These must-have resolutions for 2018. We're giving them to you for 2018 because it's a great way to focus yourself. But at the end of the day, all relationships that are really about something, going somewhere. What's going on? Fine 29, Desiree's in the house. Any relationship that's going somewhere is focusing on these things. So if you want to be in the know for your current relationship or the one that's coming to you, you will pay attention this evening. Hey, Cindy. I'm right. I'm glad you're able to catch us live tonight. I want to know where y'all are watching from. So please let us know. And as always, we ask that you share this video. Go ahead and tag a few folks who you know might be able to benefit. Put it on your page. And again, let us know, where are you watching us from? We're in the DMV, the DC metro area, Maryland, you know, the DC area, Maryland, Virginia. That's where we are. And so for all our folks, all our homies from around this way, what's happening this evening? What's up, Dave? Happy New Year. All right. So this evening, y'all. Hey, Terry. I want y'all to sit back.
I see Philly in the house, Maryland.
And I want to know, people. I mean, are we the only people who drink on a Thursday night?
I don't know. I don't think so. I hope not.
Y'all, when we be asking, people be like, water. I be like, y'all be trying to get us like, you know, drinking some juice. Well, not I.
Nope. Vodka and orange juice right here. Yeah.
Vodka. Just go ahead and nod your head to that. Nod your head to that. Because it's okay every now and again. What's up, bro, Nisha? What's up, Michael from Florida? We see you. Thank you for tuning in this evening. Dave from Philly. And
yes, indeed.
Maryland is in the house. And Cindy from Birmingham. All right. Y'all from all over.
And so as my wife just mentioned, y'all, I see E and J. Okay, that's what's up. Me and my wife. So what I want to say, y'all, is this. As my wife mentioned a moment ago, you know, this evening we're going to be talking about 7 must-have resolutions for 2018. That's really important, y'all. Again, please share, because if you can benefit from this, I'm pretty sure you know somebody else that can benefit from it as well. Now, why is this even important? You know, the other day we actually did a live stream where I lifted up the fact that we was 2 days into 2018, and some of y'all may have already broken y'all New Year's resolutions. And so we want to reaffirm, we want to confirm, we want to lift it up today that you got another chance. You got another chance to start over if you've already come up short when it comes to keeping on track in terms of your resolution. So as it pertains to your relationship, y'all, you can't focus on everything else and make the conscious decision to avoid, to dismiss, to minimize, to overlook, to ignore your relationship. You just can't do it. It won't work, y'all. So again, we're going to give you 7 must-have relationship resolutions for 2018 because we want to make sure that you make your relationship a priority. If y'all can feel that, if y'all down for that, let us know. Let us know that that's something that y'all want going into 2018.
So here's the thing. Some of y'all watching this evening, like, you know, I don't do resolutions, right? Because a lot of people try to get all sophisticated now. I've seen people just out and about, and I'm like, so you got any thing that you're, working on in the new year. They're like, I don't do resolutions. They're too advanced for that. Like I'm not going to get brand new because I don't have time for that. I don't get caught up in the rah-rah. Well, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. And I'm not going to knock you because I'm one of the people like, look, I'm not about to be doing no resolution because of a year change. Ain't nothing magical about a new year. Ain't nothing magical about a different day, right? But I'm going to stop you for a second. Any time there is a shift and a change in the year, in the season, in the energy that's happening in the universe for yourself, there's always an opportunity. Yeah. There's always an opportunity to do something different. So it's not really about it being a new year. It's about you taking things seriously. And for some of us, when we get a perceived blank slate, clean, fresh slate, then we think, you know what, it's time for me to focus in. For some people, it's their birthday. People look at their birthday times, I'm another year older. What have I done? What am I going to do differently? Right? So whatever it is, I don't want you to get caught up on, ain't nobody got time for this resolution stuff. I want you to focus in on what resonates with you this evening. What's up, Tanisha, representing Cincinnati?
Hey, what's up, Tanisha?
I want you to focus on whatever resonates with you this evening, because as I always say, there will be some things that stand out to you and stick to you just like glue. And you're like, oh, get that thing off me. But it won't get off you until you face it, until you reckon with it. So I just want to ask you this evening to focus on the thing that really stands out with you. When we go over these must-have resolutions, share it. Yeah. Go ahead and commit to it. Share it with your boo. This is what I'm going to do. See, if you're really bad about it, you won't just come on here and get a little bit of education, get a little entertained, and then go off with a daggone live stream. Go get yourself, something to eat, your late night snack, and then go to bed. That's, I'm saying, you'll do something with it. So I'm going to challenge you tonight to pick one, just one, and go ahead and do it. Implement it in your life.
All right, y'all. So again, my name is Ayize Ma'at, and this right here is my incredible wife, Iana Ma'at. We're both licensed therapists, but as I say in all of our live streams, even though we're therapists, this right here ain't therapy. This right here is coaching. This right here is edutainment. This right here is information. This right here is us giving you some good stuff to apply to your relationship, but also to apply to your life as well. So to get this thing started off tonight, y'all, again, 7 must-have resolutions, relationship resolutions for 2018. The first one that I want to lift up, y'all, is that when it comes to your relationship, it's important that that you put certain things in place that you're able to actually accomplish. So relationship resolution number one. Commit to small, measurable changes in your relationship. Commit to small, but yet measurable changes in your relationship. And so what I mean by this is that, even as it comes to you and your own personal, revolution, I said revolutions. Resolutions, I guess the drink getting to me already. Your personal resolutions that you've made, you want to make sure that they're small and measurable. And so I'm lifting this up because as it pertains to your relationship, it's imperative that you look at your partner, you look at yourself, and you see, what can we actually accomplish? Some of y'all try to do these elaborate, extensive date nights, and the reality is that just sitting in your family room, maybe having a picnic in your family room, a picnic in the basement, I don't know what it might be. You cooking for your spouse, that's a measurable change that you can make in your relationship that can improve the quality of it.
Just before you go upstairs to your spot, or and he go downstairs to his spot, how about you be like, come over here and sit on the couch with me? Because we said this before, how many people don't spend time day to day, don't have time to connect in with each other? We ask couples, we say, well, when do you get your connect in time? You get up, you get out the house, you move on down the streets, you with your kids, right? You're going to the different things in the community, you at church, you at the PTA meeting, whatever, then you come home. When do you connect in with your boo? We give each other a kiss before we leave out. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, hey, what's going on when I get it back in, right? But keep it, yes, Tanisha, basic and attainable, right? Like you can start asking your partner, how was your day? Like, no, for real, like really, how was it? And literally take 5 minutes and focus all of your energy.
I think it works magic. It works magic, y'all.
You get all kind of magic when you focus, don't you?
I really do.
Because when this man looks at me, you know what I'm saying? He take this right here to put the phone down, turns towards me. Oftentimes I may be cooking and he's at the island and he just like, look at him, just like he's doing right now. He looking at my lips and my eyes back down to my, guess what? All kind of magic happens, but he takes time to do that. And let's be real, you haven't always focused in the way that I've needed you to.
No.
You know, I will say that is one of your gifts.
Yeah.
But you have not always done that.
Not
so
always.
It takes practice. It takes practice. What can you do? Drop it right now. I want to know in the comments, can y'all give us some idea of what it is that you can do, or you can even suggest for others to do on this evening, that you can start doing this basic? I mean, straight up, can you just start giving compliments? You don't even have any idea how many women I talk to who say, you know, I would really love a compliment every now and then. I gotta don't post it. I gotta kind of work that out of my husband. You know, it's like he's forgotten that, you know, I like to get a compliment or say, oh, well, you look sexy, or you working that dress or whatever, you know, right? James said, make the bed.
Make the bed.
How about that? If that thing is important to your partner,
that's something that's simple, but it's a small and measurable change, y'all.
Yes,
we oftentimes overlook the simplicity of what's required to elevate your relationship. And we try to make these things extremely grandiose in terms of what it is that we want to do, when something as simple as making a bed, it can radically shift how your partner experiences you in the morning. How they leave the day. How they leave for the day.
I got one. Let me tell you something. I think I've told y'all before that in this relationship right here, this one right here, you know, his environment affects him. First of all, everybody's environment affects them. Okay. Everybody's environment. But what I know about my husband is that if he comes in the house, no, we got 5 kids. Don't get me started, okay? You know what I'm saying? We got 5 kids and it's stuff all over the place, right? Like, he is hot. Like, all of a sudden, he's like, take a deep breath. He started walking around like drill sergeant. His mood is messed up. I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to holler at him and be like, hey, boo, now I'm getting in my feelings because he's walking around here. You understand? So what thing do I do? I don't always do it. But one thing that I know that works and I can absolutely start to implement more, I just run my behind. As soon as I hit that garage, yo, I'm like the kids. I hit a garage. Yep. Anybody got a garage? And they be like, you know what I'm saying? Hit that joint. I be like, oh, are you picking up stuff? You know what I'm saying? Let me straighten up the room. You know what I'm saying? I do that thing. You understand? I pull the ottoman out to the middle, brush things off, whatever, right? Now, some other stuff might be, you know, all over the place, but just the area where my husband walks in. When he walks in the house, that he can walk into, he can look over me, and I'm like, hey, babe. Meanwhile, I'm like this, right? A little sweat right here because I've been running around. But doesn't that make a difference for you, though?
It really does.
It does.
It really does. But
that's a part of your makeup. You just,
that's what I need.
Anal like that.
Why I gotta be anal like that? But y'all, now peep this though. But to show you how anal I might be at certain periods of time, I'm actually looking through our cameras before I get home to see.
Oh, you do? So you be seeing me run around?
Sometimes I have before, yeah.
Oh, I did not know you did that.
Just to see what I'm stepping into, but it's not even really.
Wait a minute.
It's not even just you.
So you literally. So we have cameras in the house.
It's more so about the children. It's more so about the children.
That show different parts of the house. It's a part of our security system, and this man is telling us. I'm learning this along with you. That you actually are getting on your phone and like, let me see what the family room look like before I walk in there.
Not. It's not even really about that. It's more so let me just see what the temperature of the home is before I walk.
Perhaps by seeing how messy it is.
But you know what? Oftentimes I'm on the phone with you before I walk in the house anyway.
You know what? That's some real special stuff right there. Let me tell you. Look, Travis said he's the same. Dirty house, jacks up attitude. Oh, you know what? At the end of the day, we all have the things that we like, and we all have the things that really matter to us. So again, we done spend way too much time on this.
This is point number 1, y'all. So again, share this video right here. That was point number 1. Share this video right here, y'all, to people that you think may benefit from the information that we're giving you all tonight. Hey, Travis, I want to say too, I seen you grooving with your lady, with your queen, with the missus. You know, when y'all was out, you know, I don't know where y'all were at, but y'all was getting y'all boogie on. Y'all was grooving. So y'all was handling y'all business. But in any event, let me just lift this up, y'all. Number 2, again, share. Please share. Number 2, you can go ahead and take number 2 over.
Don't tap out. This is a good one. I just want to put this one right at the top. Don't tap out. Learn to resolve conflict. Don't tap out. That's one small measurable change. Now, what does that mean? It means that you have, if you're in a relationship, and you will continue to experience conflict, right? That's going to happen. That's a part of being a human being in relationship with another human being. You come with your own set of issues, circumstances, and background, and they come with their own flavor. And then you all are supposed to meld together. And as you're melding, you start to bump. That's how it happens. And it will never, ever, ever, ever leave you. I just want you to know that. So just go on ahead and just settle on into that. But one thing that you can do that's measurable and is small is don't tap out. Don't tap out. So what does that mean? It means don't shut down. What's up, Shay? I see you, sis. Don't shut down, right? And you know, stop answering questions. You know, that kind of thing. Don't start you know, blowing up and just being like, I'm over this, I'm done, whatever. And you know, just move on. Right. Don't say, you know what, how many of y'all do this or have a partner who's done this, like hey, you know what? Whatever you say. Nah, for real. No, it's all good. No, for real, I'm straight. I'm good. Nah, like seriously, it's okay. No, it ain't okay. Don't tap out. Don't do that. Oh, that thing be irritating the mess out of me.
It does?
Yes.
Why?
It's like you just decide to stop engaging. Like, you know what? Whatever. It doesn't make me think, you see my point of view. It makes me think you just like whatever. Yeah. And so you can really impact your relationship. It is.
And it's condescending.
It's dismissive. I need to record this so I can, I can, next time you try to, you know, but I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and just play that. It's dismissive. That's what it is. So if we start to not tap out and just stay in it, what can happen? What can come from that? We often don't know. We don't get to the next place. We don't move to the next phase of the disagreement because we tap out before we even make any progress. We don't sit in the middle of the discomfort. We don't listen to the person say something that we don't want to hear them say because we're ready to roll out and leave. Don't tap out in 2018. Just stay in the midst of the conflict. Stay engaged. Because as we've said 1,000 times before, and we will continue to say, you can be in one of three positions. I always mess it up. Let's see if I can not mess it up this time. You can be.
Do you want me to just go ahead and say it, boo? I mean, you gonna say you mess it up every time.
I do. And I'm trying to do a new thing in 2018.
Just give me the handoff, boo. Just give me the handoff. You can turn towards your partner. Right. Which is an excellent position to be in. You can turn away from your partner, which is a really compromised and challenging position to be in, or you can turn against your partner, which is also a compromised and challenging position, but at least you're engaging your partner when you're turned against them. So again, y'all, turn away, turn against, and turn towards. Of all the three, the most important thing is that you want to be turned towards your partner. In addition to that, if any of the other three, you want to make sure that you're turned against your partner, because again, what that resembles is that you are actively engaged in trying to work out or trying to resolve some issues in a relationship. So like my wife just mentioned, don't tap out, y'all. Don't tap out. The missus and I, we've been married now for 15 years together, for going on 23 years. We had a lot of bumps and bruises and scars and issues in our relationship. Again, y'all, it's not easy. We got 5 children, one with a chronic illness. It's not easy, but we manage our relationship. We manage our family. We manage our business. We manage ourselves individually because we recognize that when we're together, when we're connected, when we're lifting each other up, when we're lifting ourselves up, then we as a whole, we elevate and we go to the next level. So you just want to make sure that you're not tapping out. If you don't tap out and you make a commitment to stay in, then you've actually given yourself an opportunity to progress and to move forward.
So I just want to take a moment. Yes, everybody's feeling you, Lynette. I want to take a moment to acknowledge Lynette Richardson, who's with us on the live stream this evening. Oh my. Lynette says that she lost her husband on New Year's Eve. And she lost him to a sudden heart attack. He was only 55 years old. She says, please, and she put this in all caps, please show your mate you love them. She said, I miss him so much. My heart is so heavy. And so I just want to, I feel that. I'm like, oh my goodness. I caught the words, Lynette, and I'm like, whoa, did I just read what I think I read? And so I just want to first say, sis, thank you so much for sharing that here in this space. Yeah. And I want everybody to, I saw people putting comments out. Just
give her some hearts, y'all. Give her some love. Give her some hearts. Give her some love. Give her some energy.
Because I just want you to know that whatever you have gone through up until this point, it's only been a little bit of days, right? Mm-hmm. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. I just want to speak life to you really quickly and let you know that whatever it is that you're dealing with, that you don't have to deal with it by yourself. You want to be by yourself. You say all those hearts coming, that's for you, sis. Whatever it is, I can only imagine what that feels like. I don't know what that feels like. I see Yvette out there. She's giving you lots of love. I just want you to know that everybody here, most everybody here is in a committed relationship, or they are looking for that, and they understand what it means to be connected to another person. Mm-hmm. And then to lose that person, if anybody here tonight has lost someone, a spouse particularly, please reach out to Lynette. Please drop some words of encouragement to her. I just want to say to you that everything that you're experiencing must be extraordinarily difficult and extraordinarily painful. but there is always purpose in the pain. And I'm just going to stop there, because sometimes people just start talking too much and they, we just lose you, right? It's like, don't even say all of that. I'm just hurt right now. I'm mad. And wherever you are, it's okay to be wherever you are. So Lynette, we just sending you energy. We're sending you love, power, patience, peace in the middle of this hard time. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Lynette, did you all have any children?
Yeah, please go ahead and drop a comment and let us know if you feel so led to, if you feel comfortable enough to do that. And so while we are, giving that energy to Lynette and feeling her on that, we're going to move on to number three. Number three, I think this one is really appropriate. Develop a spiritual life, especially after we just talked about, this loss that Lynette has experienced. Develop a spiritual life. You want to speak on this?
I'm still stuck on.
You're still stuck. So let me tell you why it's important to develop a spiritual life. Okay, no children. Okay, sis. It's important to develop a spiritual life. And you notice that we didn't say a religious life. We didn't say it's important to go to church. We didn't say it's important to do any task or activity that is associated with spirituality. What we said is develop a spiritual life. That looks different for different people. Some people want to go out and be in nature. Some people find themselves in church. Some people want to meditate. Some people, like to journal and light a candle. There are all kinds of ways and different paths to connecting with the Creator. What I am telling you is this: whoever you call God for you, whatever, however, wherever, when you have something and you have a certain kind of awareness that there's something greater than you, let me say this to y'all real quick. That there's something greater than you operating in your life and in your relationship. I'm telling you, it gives you a greater sense of a calm and a greater sense of clarity, even in the midst of great confusion in your relationship and in your own personal life. I sat with couples, my husband and I, time and time again, and sometimes you just get to a point where it's like, this shit hard right here.
Yeah.
It's 3 words. This shit hard.
With a D?
This. With a D. I don't really, I can give you all kinds of, clinical assessments and all kinds of ideas about what you can do. But at the end of the day, you got to lean into something and into some place that is beyond the intellect. And sometimes you cannot just focus in on trying to navigate and figure out how you're going to do this and do that to get him to act right and to get her to understand. You gotta lean on something greater.
Yeah. And
so developing a spiritual life and figuring out what does that mean for you. Oftentimes couples are so far apart because they don't even just sit down and talk about it. They sometimes get agitated with each other because oftentimes men experience spirituality differently than women. Right. And women express it differently than men. So instead of judging and kind of like being off center with each other, just sit down. I just challenge you in 2018 to sit down and have a conversation, have lunch one day and be like, what does that even mean for you? I was looking at that live stream that the mods did and they were talking about develop a spiritual life, but they said that doesn't necessarily mean go to church, do this, do that. It means just sit down and have a conversation about what does the depth of connecting in with something, someone, a power greater than you. What does that mean for you? And maybe the other person, I don't even know. That's the start of a conversation. That's the start of a conversation.
And so, in reference to that, I think that it's important that we acknowledge, especially in our relationships, that there's external entities and energies that impact how you flow with your partner. And so with that being said, it's important that y'all get on one accord, y'all, that you all actually arrive at a space where you can walk in unison and achieve some sense of harmony as you confront some of the challenges that you're going to inevitably experience out here in the world, whether it be bills, whether it be work, whether it be children, whether it be in-laws, whether it be whatever it may be. It's imperative that you all actually develop some sense of spiritual foundation, some base, some home, so that you can, it almost becomes like a place of refuge, a place of safety that you all can retreat to, that you all can actually diligently and intentionally step towards to realign yourselves, because y'all gonna need to show up each other when it comes to, how you experience negotiating just life. So just make sure that when it comes to this whole spiritual piece that you all are having conversations about it. You all are talking about it. You all are actually maybe even debating, but you want to also make sure that you're making room for your partner's perspective, as my wife just so eloquently stated. Because again, he may not be coming from the same space as you. You may not be coming from the same space as her. But again, the most important thing is that you make room for each other's perspective. And in doing that, you all can achieve some sense of harmony as you all move forward.
Okay, all right. What's they talking about right there? So, all right. So that was number three. That was number three. So now we're moving on to number four. Okay. And so far, again, just to recap, number one was to commit to small, measurable changes. Number two was don't tap out. Learn to resolve conflict in 2018. Just stay engaged. You ain't got to have all the techniques down, but just stop shutting down and walking away. Okay, and being quiet and not saying anything. And then number three was develop a spiritual life. Have a sense that there's something greater than you.
Before we say number four, y'all, again, please share this video so that other people can benefit from the information that we're sharing. Number four, y'all, I really like this one. This one right here is really important, really crucial, really critical to the elevation of your relationship. And the reason being is because it's the reason why you got here. You got here because of number four. Number four, y'all, number four is make love more. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Do it way more than what you used to do in 2017. And so
they might already be all right.
They might be
okay.
But still, if you all right, do it even more. I
want to know, drop a number, y'all. What's the average number of times you think, on average, a healthy, I know, but I want to hear from them. A healthy couple has sex every month. Every month. What is a average? Again, remembering that there really is no normal. But drop some comments and let us know, what do you think the average number of times the average healthy couple has sex every?
I'm gonna say 30 times. 30 days in a month. I'm gonna say
what?
30 times.
Yeah, right. You wish. You'd be crying. If he was getting 30 times, he'd be like, I can't do it no more. You wouldn't even be able to hang in there. So okay, so look, hold up though. Wait a minute. We got 26 days.
12
all right.
times.
Jay said 12 times. Okay, so 12 times would be, what would that be, like 3 times a week? Shannon said 20 a month. We're talking about a month.
Oh, let's flip this. So
that would be 20. That means 5 times. That's 5 times a week, Shannon. Dang. Some people said 6. Okay. All right. On average, what you were going to say something?
No, I was going to ask a question.
No, we already asked the question. Let's
this is the second question because I want to get some more intel, some more information. How many times would you like to have sex per month?
Well, don't tell them.
How many times would you like to have sex?
Really? You're going to have to put their business out there like that?
I'm really curious. I want to know because, again, some people might not really be needing to have sex life. Some people might be asexual. You know, it might not really be a desire or a need to have sex.
You use that word
whatever.
Wrong.
No, I'm saying they might really feel like
they're asexual because they don't want a lot of sex.
They might not feel like it's really important. So again, if y'all feel courageous enough, go ahead and put how many times you would like to have sex per month.
So on average, babe, look, she said 30 days. 30 days.
Glasses,
got her glasses. 30 days, bro. That's how many days. That's how many times a month.
31.
31?
Yeah.
So how many days in a month, Ronisha? 30. We're just going with 30. So what is it, babe? On average?
It's 3 times per month. On average.
No,
3 times.
No,
it is.
3 times per month?
3 times per month.
3 to 5.
Well, I mean, we can say 3 though. 3 is the same number.
Oh.
So, but we're gonna challenge y'all to do.
So some of you all are probably like,
I see you, Michael.
Oh, really? Well, Michael said 20 for him. So it's 3 to 5 times. That actually is the average number. So I want to, if it was up to guys, it'd be 3 to 5 times per week, Travis said. But I want you all to just get some perspective because a lot of times people, Ronisha said per month. Yes. And Shannon's husband said 51.
We're going to double that thing up.
51?
2 times a day. Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Twice a day out this jump. Show love said we good then. So look, I want you all to know this, that it really does depend on the couple, right? Every couple has their own threshold in terms of what works for them. So you have to be communicating with each other. It's not about like we need to hit this mark even though we tied. No, it's like whatever works for the both of you. But on average, what studies have shown is that about once a week. So about once a week is 3 to 5, right? It's like you did it every week except for 1 week, or you might have did it twice in 1 week, right? And hit every week. So that is actually what happens on average. So for those of y'all out there on 20, 25, 30, 31, y'all keep on going here. Y'all
doing the black power salute. Black power salute.
Y'all keep it moving.
Handle your business. I mean, that's what's up right there. But what you'll notice is that there's also a variation.
Said, his lady says 15 to 20.
He's cool with 8. Yeah, that's twice a week. I mean, he's cool with that. And so what y'all notice too is that, as it pertains to men and even women, as you reach a certain age of maturation.
No, you like to say that name.
Yeah,
maturation.
the desire for sex may shift, it may change. You know, it may be more of a desire for intimacy. Not to say that intimacy can't be associated with sex,
emotional
because it really is. But emotional intimacy may be where it's really at.
All right, so here's the next one, y'all. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on to number 5. Remember, we have 7 in total, 7 resolutions that we are saying all relationships need for 2018. So please, again, go ahead and share this video or tag somebody so that other folks get this information and get the wisdom that you're dropping up in here. Because I know y'all dropping some good stuff. I know Travis said, man, that's a full-time job. I know Bama's having sex 51 times a month. What the hell do you do any other time if you haven't sex that often? You know what I'm saying? That is a full-time job. Like, I gotta go back to work. That's too much.
But you know what? You can actually learn through that experience.
Y'all do you.
It ain't too much for you. We actually gonna do something like that. No, yeah.
Oh, because we talked about before doing a sex challenge.
Yeah, doing a sex challenge.
We wouldn't be doing it by
ourselves. How many y'all would be down for a sex challenge?
Y'all have to do that with us.
You know, would y'all be down for a sex challenge?
What would it look like?
I mean, 30 days of sex. There's actually a book out there called like 30 Days of Sex. I mean, but I guess you gotta forego maybe like 4 or 5 days because women, y'all have y'all cycles and stuff like that. So maybe 26 days of sex. Would y'all be open for something like that, like a challenge? Fellas, let me see it. Would y'all be open for that? Ladies, would y'all be open for that? A sex challenge, 26 days of sex. Could y'all do something like? Could you do that? And it don't have to necessarily be intercourse, but I mean, it could be some type of sexual connection.
Okay, well, sexual connection is different than 30 days of sex. That means you can masturbate. That means that you can tell nasty stories. That means that you can give oral sex. That means that you can get some olive oil, but stay up out my kitchen. Everybody out there know about olive oil. Yep. This one right here. I'm like, can you get your own tools?
That's what olive oil is made for.
No, you say no, it's not. Olive oil is.
It works wonders.
It's
it really does.
It's for your health. If you're supposed to use it to cook food, you know what I'm saying?
To eat.
Michael, I'm mad at you. You're talking about some grapeseed oil.
Grapeseed, yeah.
You know what? We're going somewhere else in this live stream. Let's bring it back. So if you gotta be interested in a sex challenge, right? You know, of some sort, we put something like that together where you have to do something every single day of the month. I want y'all to just let us know. Put a Y or a yes, okay? And then we
put a Y. Just say yes.
You know what I'm saying?
We need people to commit.
Why? Yes. What's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Just stay out my kitchen with my olive oil. All right. So that was number 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 3 more. So number 5. Here is another must-have relationship resolution for 2018. Forgive. Forgive. Let me tell y'all something. Because I am and have been a recovering aggressaholic for many years, and if you don't know what that is, it's okay because I made it up. I can be bad about it. You know what I'm saying? I had some anger issues back in the day. And so I call myself a recovering aggressaholic. And so because I can look back on my life and I can see where I've come from, I know what I'm saying when I say to you that you need to forgive. We have to practice forgiveness. We can't just, think about that thing in our intellect. We can't just be like, yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah. But some people get real proud about their lack of ability to forgive. You know, I don't give nobody no passes. You do me wrong, I'm done. You ever heard people talk like that?
Yeah.
It's over. It's a wrap. I don't have time for that. You know, popping their collar. I'm like, you stupid. Just keeping it 100. I used to be stupid too. See, the reality is that all of us are human beings and we all mess up. We all mess up. And some of us mess up a little bit. Some of us mess up kind of a little bit more, and some of us mess up big time. Yeah. And if you're in a relationship that's worth anything, you will be with someone who's done all of it with you. They've done all of it with you, right? And they have challenged you to come up to another level in your thinking and in your process and stretched you to forgive. You see, because forgiveness, and we're talking about this, here's my shameless plug over in The Art of Overcoming with Iana Ma'at here on Facebook. The Art of Overcoming with Iana Ma'at. I will put that in the description so that the sisters can see it. This is for women. It's a place where we can go over and be competent and confident and all of that and discuss our issues. We're talking about forgiveness right now. And one of the things that my sister Shaifa put this challenge out to the group. One of the things she said, and we talked about, is the fact that forgiveness is not for the other person. It's not for the other person. It's for you. It's for you, okay? So it's really about understanding that when you do not forgive without your even realizing it, you're walking around with stuff, bumping up into other people, having things hold you back that you don't even recognize or realize. You're like, why people be coming to me a certain type of way? Because you stink. You know what I'm saying? Because your top lip be curled up. Because you're defensive. Because you're guarded. You know, how many people know that you may have a sense of being guarded when you go out into places and spaces and you're like, that's just kind of how I am. Maybe you need to forgive. See, because when we do some of these things, some of that stuff drops away from us. It pulls into us to protect us when we were children and we still got to forgive our daddy or our mommy, right? When we were hurt by the first lover, right? A family member, whomever, right? When that happens, there's a defense mechanism that is built silently. It comes up inside of you to protect you. It's what the brain does to make sure that you don't get destroyed. And what you have to recognize that as you are growing and moving, and when you're intentional about saying, I gotta forgive, I gotta let this thing go, I gotta let it go, those things will drop away from you. And all the stuff that you thought you couldn't get and that you couldn't make progress on, it starts to be attracted to you. It starts to come to you because you are now walking around blindly, keeping things away from you, putting walls and barriers up, all because you have not forgiven. I know, I'm still in process, working on forgiving my daddy. Let the church say amen, Michael. Yes. So yes, Michael, Angelo says, your energy enters the room before you do. All that kind of stuff can get wrapped up into and resolved by forgiveness. When you focus on that, trust me when I tell you, you benefit. You benefit more than the person who has wronged you. It does not mean you condone what has happened. It does not mean you're okay with it. It doesn't mean that you even have to go to them and tell them you forgive them. All it means is that you want to get free and be everything that God would have you to be, which means that at the end of the day, you've got to let it go. Forgiveness is freedom. Forgiveness is freedom. That's right, Tiffany.
I like when people are saying like so true. And I just want to say to you, baby, that I've noticed in your walk that you've been extremely intentional about having some uncomfortable conversations, about really releasing some of the baggage and the things that may have held you bound by confronting some people and having some courageous conversations. And I'm proud of you.
Let me tell you, I had a courageous conversation with my mother. 2017. That's how I ended 2017. And that thing was hard. I was carrying some stuff around for years. Yeah. Oh. And my mother is a good mother. How many of y'all got a good mother, got a good father, got a good this, good that? But that doesn't mean there ain't some issues. You understand? And when you let that stuff go and just be real about it, and then, forgive, oh my goodness, you get free. And I'm telling you, like, straight up, after I did that, I was like, oh, I feel a little less self-conscious about certain things. I feel a little more comfortable in myself, right? Like, what happened? I guess I just kind of let that go. I let it go. Oh my, don't get me started up in here. Lord have mercy.
You feel more like a grown-ass woman.
Feel like a grown-ass woman. Yes, when you can tell the truth, be transparent. You understand what I'm saying? And then realize like, oh, I'm okay. Because here's what happens when we don't forgive. Whatever has happened has brought out some things in us. It makes us feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? It makes us doubt ourselves. What was it about me? What did I do to cause this to happen? Why did this person do this to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did I do that my mom or my dad, weren't there, or that my spouse or my boo from back in the day would go on me like that? You may not ever say it, but down deep, there's a doubt. When you forgive, you actually release yourself from those feelings. It's stuff that's unconscious and subconscious. We'll talk about that on another day, because y'all get me going. I be done ran around up in here and everything. Ciao. Ran around up in here and everything.
I see, Riri. I like that comment right there.
All righty. Okay,
you can put a check mark beside that one. But go ahead.
All right, so that was number 5, forgive. All right, so again, number 1, I don't know what number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know the order, but I'm gonna tell you. So far, we talked about not tapping out in 2018. Don't tap out. Learn to resolve conflict. We've talked about forgiving. We talked about committing to small, measurable changes. Pick one small thing you can start doing tomorrow. Tomorrow.
No. Tonight. Yeah, tonight. No, it's something small that you can do tonight.
Okay, tonight. Okay.
It's not waiting until tomorrow. You're gonna wake up and you might feel different. Okay. You might not. Y'all might get into an argument tonight.
Go with the momentum.
Yes, go with the momentum and do something tonight.
Develop a spiritual life and make love more. Make love more. Okay, in 2018. All right, number 6.
Number 6, y'all. It's something that's really simple, but again, as Tanisha mentioned earlier, it's really the small things that matter the most, and it don't have to be complicated. It's really about you being intentional about putting your best foot forward and verbalizing your affection for your partner. And so, you know, the small thing or the small change that you can make in 2018 is to say, I love you more.
I love you.
I love you too.
I love you. I love you. Oh, I love you.
I love you too.
Y'all, yeah, that seems simple, right? To say I love you, but y'all don't recognize some people just don't even be saying I love you. They're like, she know.
Yeah.
Man, she know how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
He already understand. And that's not just with you know, our spouses, but even other family members, kids and stuff like that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
We gotta say I love you. We have to express it. You know, the best way for you to know that somebody else knows how you feel is to articulate it. Feelings are best articulated, not going through telepathy.
Yeah.
You have to open your mouth and say, I love you.
You got to verbalize that thing, y'all. I mean, men, we want to hear. And we did a live stream before talking about several things that a man wants to hear to make him feel good about being your man. And so one of those things is really hearing that I love you. And really what it does is it affirms us. It lets us know that you're concerned, that you care about us, that you love us, that you got our back. So make sure you're being intentional about letting your man know I love you.
And make sure you're being intentional about letting your woman know that you love her. I love how Michelangelo says, I have to do that more, but in a more meaningful manner.
What do you say? You say, don't say love you, or what you be saying?
I mean, people say all the time, like, love you. You know what I mean? Like, love you. You get off the phone, all right, love you. You know, you're walking out the door, love you, right? And it's a quick peck, but you do have to, as Michael has said, you know, you have to be intentional. You got to like stop. And when you do that, I challenge y'all to do that tomorrow.
Like why we gotta wait till tomorrow? Tonight.
Okay, tonight. I'm trying to give people a little bit of room to work. They don't
need no room. Do it right now.
No.
Do it right now.
No, what I'm saying is that when you do that, for some of you, you're like, oh, I do that all the time. But what I'm saying to you is when you really make a point to be intentional, meaningful, have eye contact, and really focus in, you'll start to see like, this is a little uncomfortable. It's not the regular I love you. It's not the quick like peck on the cheek I love you, right? I'm really connecting in. And oftentimes the reason that we don't connect in as often as we could or should, or we start to be concerned about the fact that I'm not feeling my boo, is because you know what? Whatever you want to happen, you have to practice it. And when we don't practice it, it starts to get awkward. It starts to feel a little funky. And that's okay. Don't run away from the awkward, funky feelings, but you do have to be intentional. So I challenge you. My husband said, do it tonight. Do it tomorrow.
Shannon said yes, Ayize. Do it right now. He vouching. He's saying yes. He co-signing that. Oh, Shannon, I'm sorry.
How you gonna say he?
I'm sorry.
Don't disrespect
blame it on
that. So anyway, say I love you.
But hold up though. But let me lift this up.
We're trying to move on to number
No, because we got two more actually.
No, we do not.
No, we do. We do have two more.
We got
we do got two more. We got two more that's really important.
Okay, but you're making it. Can you just say that you're making it up?
Making what up?
We're on number 6.
No, we got this one right here, which is really important, and then we got this one right here, which is extremely important.
It's 8, then it's 7.
Yeah, so we lied.
It's supposed to be 7.
It's 8. We lied. So go ahead and share this video. We got a couple of more that we're gonna share with y'all. Hey, but check this out though. In reference to saying I love you, you know, I really want to lift this up because I think that, especially in the relationship that my wife and I have, what I've made an effort to do is, and I think what we do extremely well, baby, is that when you say love you and it's really quick, you know, you just, you know, spit it out and it's you know, in the flow of the moment and that type of thing. One thing that we add at the end of that, or one thing that I add at the end of that is baby. Love you, baby, or something like that. You know, just some type of word of affection to let her know.
You know what stands out to me when you say my name? You say my name.
When I say your name. But here's the thing. So here's the thing, y'all. The other day, I said that to my wife. And she asked me, why did you say that? Where'd that come from? And so, you know, in some of our previous videos, y'all, what we've spoken about is windows of opportunity. And so what I'm seizing in that moment is a window of opportunity to express my affection and my love for my wife. And so she's asking me why, where did that come from? Not to say that it doesn't happen often, because it happens on a regular basis in our relationship. But what she wants to know is, what is it that I was doing that made you actually express and affirm and commit, you know, and just share your love for me? What was it that I was doing? And so it could be something as simple as the way she turned her head. Something that I noticed by the way her hair was falling on her face, her making a particular meal, something when she was cooking in the kitchen, her going out to the car. It could be any number of things. Her lifting up our son and giving him a kiss. But what I'm doing is I'm not just witnessing those moments. I'm seizing and stepping into the windows of opportunity to express what it is that I'm feeling for my wife. And so what I'm encouraging all of you all to do is that don't just witness the moments that you see, actually cherish those moments and express what those moments mean to you. And so what I do is I take a moment in a minute to share with my wife, like, I love you, baby. And I love you, Ian. And again, and it just, when it hits me, I got to hit her with it, because I got to let her know that I'm connected with you. I see what you're doing, and what you're doing means so much to me. So again, make it a point to let your woman know, to let your man know when you witness excellence. That's what I'm gonna call it. Relationship excellence, love excellence. When you witness that, make sure you let them know by acknowledging it, y'all. We all want to be acknowledged. We all want to be affirmed, but you got to make sure that you be intentional in doing it.
I was just trying to figure out what was the word, and I do ask him, like, what made you say that? Because you know how when you're a little kid, you be your parent or somebody say, "Oh, I love you, baby," and you'd be like, "What you say?" Like, little kids like that, they don't have no, trying to fake it, right? They like, tell me, right? what you say? Why you say that? I want to know. I want to know exactly what are you seeing in me? What are you feeling about me, right? Because just like you said, you're acknowledging me, you're validating me by saying I love you. It's like saying I see you. I see you. I feel you. I respect you. I love you. You understand? So you have the ability to do that for another person. You have the ability to do that for your boo. You just got to take a risk. Be a little awkward and get it.
All right, y'all. So we got 2 more to go. The first one, number 7. Number 7, y'all, is put away your goddamn cell phone. Put it away, y'all. Put it away. We actually had a moment the other day, actually several days ago, where we.
Tanika, say some more about that. Say some more. What you mean by that? I want to hear what you got to say. What does he mean? You kind of gangster. Go ahead.
The other day we had a conversation with our children. We brought them all into the family room, and I read a long article to them talking about the dangers that cell phones cause in terms of, like, cancer and all of that type of stuff.
Traumatizing my children.
And so now I wasn't traumatizing them, but our children, they be on the devices all the time, and that just be getting on my nerves. So and not just our children, but you do too. Not when I'm in the bed.
Yeah, you be on some stuff. Yes, you do. Don't let me call you. Yes,
I had to press pause on that one.
Yeah, like, we're on live stream right now. Don't get called out. All right, go ahead.
But for real though, when it comes to cell phones, y'all, what I often say is that you're
not talking with the same level of enthusiasm as you were before.
It's like you engage in a menage a trois type relationship. It's you, your partner, and the cell phone. You got to get the cell phone out, y'all. The cell phone definitely interferes with the quality of intimacy in the relationship, because when you're trying to connect with your partner, you hear the buzzing going on. That's interference. It's running interference. When you're trying to connect with your partner and they got the phone next to them, they got the phone up under them, they got the phone under the pillow. Come on now. They got a computer. Yeah, anything that they got, it's running interference, y'all. It can actually be a wedge. Thank you, Michael. It can be a wedge in the relationship. If you're not careful and cautious about making sure that you set that thing aside.
You get in your feelings every now and then. Yeah, with me, right? You'll be like, can you put that? Like, if they just see me with it, I'm like, damn, let me hurry and put it away.
Yeah. And actually, one of the couples that we work with, they said that they've made it a priority based off of working with us, that they don't have no TV in their bedroom, and they're trying to focus on each other. It's not about watching Netflix and
our bedroom is a TV.
Our bedroom is a sacred space
zone.
Yeah,
TV free zone. So that's like, well, if it's no TV, what we supposed to do? Be with each other.
You could do a lot.
A whole lot.
Yes.
It is the bedroom. I wanted to shout Bruce Oliver out. Bruce said, I love you to find 29. He said, I love you right here on this live stream. So let's go ahead and shout him out.
That's what's up, Bruce.
That's what's up.
Handle your business, bro. Represent.
That is what's up. I love that. So, all right. So we're going to move on. There was something else I want to say, but let me stop before I mess up this dang on live stream.
Yeah, you always be messing it up by just like playing.
No. All right, here we are. We're on the last one of the evening. The last one. So again, we talked about saying, I love you more, developing a spiritual life, making love more, putting away the cell phone, forgiving, committing to small measurable changes. What's one thing you're going to do in the coming days that's small but measurable? And then we talked about not tapping out. Stay in the conflict. Stop running away so that you can get further along in resolving your issues.
Somebody said baby number 6. Nah, that's a negative.
You know that? What's that movie, Get Out?
Yeah.
And she's like, no.
I don't remember that.
Remember that? No. Remember the lady? Y'all know what I'm talking about. She's like, no.
Now I'm gonna hit you with the
no. Y'all know what I'm talking about. No.
I'm gonna hit you with the she.
Yes, my man.
Yeah, we ain't doing that. I've actually made sure that I took care of that. I handled that. I got the
right here,
the snippety snip.
Yeah, the snip done.
Yeah, I could do a whole live stream on that, but
you should do that because some brothers was like, oh, I want to do that.
And actually, they expressed that. A couple of guys came up to me and they expressed that they were appreciative of the video that I posted in reference to me going through that process. So go ahead, boo.
I can see how you
go ahead. Yeah.
All right, number 7, y'all. Number 7. All right,
Before we say number 7, y'all, please share. It ain't too late to share. Please share this right here, especially if you've gotten some good value from this live stream right here.
And y'all dropping some good wisdom on here. Y'all dropping some good wisdom, so I appreciate that. So learn. Oh, wait a minute. I did want to go back to it. I know who it was. Stop, Boo, for you messed things up. Tanika said it's hard for her to be vulnerable. That's what it was. You said it's hard for you to be vulnerable. So I just want to say this to you, sister, and we really probably
should touch on this at number 7.
But we should probably do
number 8 rather. I'm sorry.
We should probably a live stream just on vulnerability, the dynamics of vulnerability. But you have to practice it. You're not going to get inspired to be vulnerable. You're not going to be feeling your boo so much that you're going to be vulnerable, right? It's just that you're going to have to practice it. That means you're going to have to do something that actually feels really bad. I always say that because that's just how stuff is felt for me. Like I'm being vulnerable, being kind of, we were taking a bath the other day. You remember that? And we were having a moment of intimacy. It was like different. You remember that? That didn't feel good to me. Do you remember kind of how like my facial expression, like my energy was just kind of like,
yeah.
Do you really? I mean, don't just say yeah. Jesus, do you know what I'm talking about? Or are you like lost right now?
I just enjoy taking baths with you. Baby.
Okay, baby. But do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you do?
I do.
So
I
my point.
Everything that you do.
Okay, so no, you don't. But my point is this: is that he was really kind of taking us to a space where he was trying to get in my head and my heart and all of that, and we were talking about something that was this intensely sensitive for me, and it was very awkward for me, and I just did not like it. You know what I'm saying? I did not like it. I was not feeling good in that moment. I felt exposed. I felt like I wanted to close up, kind of go get into bed and put the covers on and just like leave me alone. That's how I felt. But I stayed, as we talked about earlier, I stayed engaged in the moment. I was not like all lovey-dovey. It wasn't like, oh, this connection is wonderful. But when I tell you that the level of closeness and the intimacy that was increased from that evening was tangible, it was. In that moment, I was feeling some type of way. But as the evening went on, well... Oh yeah, whoa. Not just that evening, but until right now. You know what I'm saying? Like we have a closer connection because he went there with me. But I'm just trying to say to you, Tanika, that the vulnerability, it's not going to feel good in the moment. You feel kind of like somebody might be checking you. They might be reading you. They may be in your space. You know what I mean? But you just have to stand in it. If you just sit there in it, just sit there. You don't have to have all the words, all the answers. Right. You don't have to know what to do. Just be there in it. And that's what I was. I was like, I was very cognizant of the fact that like your face is messed up, and I'm not feeling this. I don't like this. You know. And
that's really,
but I stayed in it.
That's really profound, Joe.
Practice.
You got to practice it. But the thing that I want to lift up is that there's levels to this shit.
Oh yes.
There really are levels to it, Joe.
Oh my, yes.
And the deeper you go with yourself, the deeper you'll be able to go with your partner. And so again, when it comes to relationship revolution, the important thing that you need to know is that you got to first do a revolution with it. And when you do that revolution within, then it will enable you to actually experience and encounter and deal with and engage your partner on a whole new level. And so when it comes to my wife sharing what she shared the other day, she actually hit me upside the head in terms of sharing something with me that I was blind based off of watching, what was we watching? Gabrielle Union's
yeah, we just now starting to go through that show.
Mary Jane. You know, my wife, she hit me with something and I was like, damn. You know, it really like took me aback for a second because it made me look at me. And so again, y'all, there's levels to this shit. And until you're able to look at yourself in the mirror, comfortable, get acquainted, look at yourself and say that I got some stuff that I need to work on, then you won't be able to actually go to the next level in your relationship. Relationship elevation begins with you looking at you.
Yes, indeed.
It really does, y'all.
So number 7, y'all, number eight. This is the last one. Number 8. This one is the perfect cap on this whole point of looking at yourself. You need to learn your family tree and relationship dynamics that are in your DNA. Y'all like that, huh? I see y'all giving that them hearts and love. We appreciate that. But learn your family tree. So how many of you know about your parents' relationship, your parents' siblings relationships, your grandparents' relationships? What are the themes? What are the trends in your family? Like, yeah, people be kind of stepping out and having another, like, you know, woman down the road. We having, you know, other kids and stuff. Folks, you know, tend to get real in their feelings, and we're really kind of explosive in our family. People get real off the chain in terms of their communication and how they resolve conflict, right? What are the themes? You should be able to know that about yourself and about your partner. Your partner cannot know it about you unless you know it about yourself. But go there and ask questions. In 2018, you need to be able to articulate what are the patterns in your history that go beyond you and your boo, beyond you and your old boyfriend and your ex-husband. But this is a pattern that you're carrying because your mother did that, and your mother's mother did that, right? And your father and your father's father, alcoholism runs through the family. There's no shame. There's no shame. It's about being able to name it so that you understand what you're working with, and you can break these patterns and you can move forward in a much more powerful way. You got to know that stuff in 2018, know it, and then begin to articulate it to your children. Because when you articulate it to your children, oh my goodness, you're setting up yourself and your family for a different kind of generational wealth that will last forever and ever and ever. So in 2018, know that, y'all. Just start by going, you know, you can do a little family tree. We should probably do a live stream on doing genograms. Genograms are very important, and mental health clinicians and all kind of folks who do family work and any kind of work with people, helping people do something called genograms. You can look it up, GENOGRAM, and it's really tracking your family history, looking at your family of origin, kind of seeing what the themes are, the trends are, what's happening in this family that keeps happening over and over again, and that has impacted you. And so everybody should do that for themselves. Yeah. I've done one for myself. My husband has done one for himself. You should do it, right? And we can actually guide you through that process. But in 2018, you need to be able to talk intelligently about some of the things that have gone down historically, so that you can go to the next level. Yeah. In your relationship.
And that's really important, y'all. And the reason why we lift this up too is because, you know, there's a lot of dysfunction that exists in our relationships based off of the baggage that we bring into our relationships from what we experience from our upbringing. So in order for you to eliminate that dysfunction, in order for you to confront that dysfunction, it's imperative that you know what it is first and foremost. But number two, it's important that after you know what it is, that you equip yourself to be able to negotiate and navigate that type of stuff that you've actually been, that's been instilled in you. So again, if you don't know what it is, you're going to keep on running into a brick wall. So it's imperative that you peel back the layers to get acquainted with some of that stuff. Is one thing that a lot of people are talking about Dr. Umar and the Boyce Watkins and the gangster hotep, gangster and Tariq Nasheed and all of that. But hold on, let me just say this though. One thing I will say, you know, about Dr. Umar is that when he was on Roland Martin, he was able to break down this family tree. And so that was really impressive. That was extremely impressive to the degree to where he knew where he came from. And so again, if you don't know where you're coming from, then how can you know where you at? How can you know where you are if you don't know where you've come from? Where are you located? And so it's not just where you've come from genealogy. I can't say the word right now because I've been doing this right here. But what I will say is that In terms of psycho-emotionally, it's important to know where you've come from as well. So whatever family baggage has been given to you, you need to make sure that you're aware of what that stuff is, because it's showing up in your relationship right now.
I tell people all the time, I'm going to call myself out before you call me out, because I'm petty like that. You understand? I'm petty like that. Like, oh, I will tell you everything about all my stuff because I don't want nobody else calling me out. I just want to say this. What was I going to say? Sakina, she talked about the fact that she did a genogram, and she is a fellow social worker on the rise. She's up and coming social worker. So I just want to shout you out, all social workers out there, and clinicians, therapists, and so forth. So guys, we have given you 8 must-have relationship resolutions for 2018. We hope that they've been of help to you. We appreciate all of the shares and all of your comments, because people do go back and, people like send us messages like, so-and-so said on the stream that blah, blah, blah. What are your thoughts about la, la, la? And I think that that's important, because it's not about us. It's about all of us growing and going to the next level.
I see social workers represent social work.
Yep. Yes.
And so before we conclude, y'all, again, my name is Ayize Mai. This is my lovely wife, Iana Mai. We're both licensed therapists. We got a special going on as it pertains to our, coaching services. What I would encourage you to do is, it ends on Sunday night. Go to reallovehelp.com. The link is in the thread. Go to reallovehelp.com. Click on the link. We got a 43% discount on our services, y'all. So please check that out.
Yes.
And
we also I have a wonderful class happening, New Mind, New Me. New Mind, New Me. This is a great class for 2018, and it's for my sisters. I'm going to drop the link when I'm done with this, so you can check it out, so that you can engage in 4 weeks of intentional focus on an issue. 4 weeks where you are focusing on an area that you need to change, that you need to see some difference in, whether it is emotionally, whether it is concretely, whether it's how you feel about yourself, or whether it's moving forward in your business or in other goals or dreams. And we're going to come together every week, women, and support each other through a very specific process. So I will drop that link as well. We love y'all. We enjoy hanging out on Thursday nights right here on Facebook. We will see you next week, same time, same place. Yeah. Remember, ain't none of this stuff going to do anything for you, for anybody, if we don't put it into action. So let's make sure that we do that. Let's make sure that we just pick one thing. Don't overwhelm yourself. What stood out to you tonight? What stood out? Take that in, focus on it, and make something happen. At the end of the day, none of it will happen if you do not.
Stop playing, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
And start pushing.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace. Yeah, Mike. He said, stop pushing. Woo! YouTube. Bye, y'all.